Oh, you, okay, I didn't want you to get charged.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah, no, for sure.
White and black.
Love it.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't.
But yeah,
Of course. All right, come on in. We'll get started. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for bearing the rain today. I think the bottom might have just fallen out or is in the process of falling out. So thanks for being here. Got lots of these today. So I'm just gonna start on this side of the room and go around the room. So who would like to go first on this side?
For bucket fills.
Bucket
I
fill.
am very excited because after a month and a half of having a listing agreement signed, I actually paid for it on the market on Friday.
Awesome. What are the details of it?
Beautiful house on 2.17 acres
Okay.
in Swanee, North Gwinnett Schools.
Nice. With a pool, no HOA?
No HOA.
Ooh, nice.
1.15.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go girl. High five.
Is that your first listing?
Yes.
That's an awesome.
And it-
It's good to have one. It doesn't matter what the price is.
Yeah.
Well, have a look
Gotta
at
start
that.
somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, who's next?
So I just went under contract on my very first listing this morning.
Who else? Anybody on this side? Anybody share? Okay. Come on with it.
Tanisha's
Oh
got goodness.
Uh-huh.
I have closing coming up on Monday for a buyer. And I have two listings, but the newest one that I have is in Marietta, 875.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
we might get an offer, two potential offers today.
You will get two calls today. That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations.
She's like, so modest.
Mitch, go for it. Yes, please share.
My first grandbaby was born last week. Possible listing coming in Johns Creek.
Awesome.
So
What? How did you get
I
it?
love the golden letters, huh?
Uh-huh.
Gold letter,
It's
okay.
Scooping up butterflies with a butterfly net. You just send everything out and people start calling you. I love it.
They work.
Yeah. They
What I
do.
hear is that they
It's
work.
so much easier. Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else on this side want to share anything? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
We got a listing on Lake Jackson.
Yeah.
Like Airbnb right now, so if anybody's looking.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mhm. Tell them, we share how you got the listing.
Facebook. So agent asked for, agent referral, basically. They asked for an agent in this area. I messaged them and.
Go for it.
I have an out of town buyer that we're putting an offer in at 12:30 when I leave this meeting. So, we traveled all over town because they didn't know where they wanted to be. So for the last.
Okay, you did not travel all over town. You traveled all over the state of Georgia. You were like in Covington and then, or like, you were like way
Yeah,
out.
we started out in Lithonia and went
Lithonia,
all the way up to Baldwin and all the way over to Talking Rock and all the way down to Cartersville. And we found an amazing, cute little property. They're budget guys. Our budget was under 300. So we had to go to the outskirts
Expand,
and
yeah.
we're okay with that. And we found them an adorable property that they talked to the lender this morning. We upped the budget a little bit and we're gonna put an offer in and we're excited. So.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I know. It's like makes my heart so happy. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Okay, that was a lot. That's amazing. Nikki, Joy, and Tim, Guarantee a Mortgage. We had changed the order, in case you guys have noticed, because Hot Wheels. We're gonna make it a little bit easier for Hot Wheels, and she will not be here today because she's at another event today. So Carmen has joined us today. Nikki, Joy, or Tim, come on up.
Just me today, and I guess we're having that exciting day coming, which is tax day, which I know we all look forward to paying our fair share. And it's always the time that I think about. Last night I met with a guy who was gonna file his taxes and he's self-employed. He has got like 4 different self-employed businesses, which is always a nerve-wracking event for me to see how much they're actually showing as income, because nobody wants to pay the tax man any more than they have to. So this reminded me, as always, when I have these kind of events, it reminds me that when you have people that are potential buyers that are going to buy either now or even in the future, it's always, it makes sense to have them talk to a mortgage professional if they are thinking about doing that in the coming year. Because once you file your tax returns, it used to be you can file an amended return. Really, at this point anymore, underwriters are not going to accept that because they know what the game is. You're paying less at the tax time, you're inflating it, and then you may move it back down again. So that used to be a strategy. It no longer is. So just encourage folks that no matter who they are, if they have land to buy, and if they're not just self-employed, but maybe they have a side hustle that they drive Uber and that's a small part of their business. But if they're showing a big loss on that, for example, then that might hurt the qualification. So tax time is a time to make sure that if you have buyers that want to buy, let us look at it now. We pull credit reports, so there's not no cost, no impact on your credit. And we can just tell you, here's what you qualify for. And if that's not in the right budget range for that person, maybe they would think about maybe changing what they're going to show for income. So,
Awesome.
all right.
Thank you,
guys.
Carmen, you want to come on up? So for those in the room that don't know Carmen is an attorney with O'Kelley Sorahan. She is also works with Tiffany. And because we don't get to see her a lot, she's gonna start coming in more often. I just want you guys to know that if you guys can't reach Tiffany, call Carmen. She is another human in the office all the time and all the things. So, because they all, especially get into springtime and the crazy schedules, and just so you guys know, because Tiffany goes between more than one office, if you leave a voicemail at her office that she just left from, she doesn't go back there for 2 days. So she's not gonna get your message. So I want to iterate that you are here and available, and if you can't reach Carmen and or Tiffany, call the Duluth office. There are a gazillion other people. You can call Deidre, and Joe directly if you need to, O'Kelley and Sorahan. They will make sure that you have support. So just wanted to share that I wanted people to see her face and welcome her.
And I see a lot of familiar faces. I've been with O'Kelley and Sorahan for 15 years. I actually covered this office for Tiffany when she was on maternity leave with her oldest Hardin, who's 13 now, I think.
Yeah.
So I've been with the firm for a while, and I've been going back and forth between Brazelton and Beaufort for a couple of years now. I was in Midtown for a while. I was in the Cumming office. So but anytime you need us, just reach out. We're available. If you can't reach I or Tiff, like Dara said, you can call the Duluth office and just say, I need to have an attorney question. Can I reach out? I need to speak with an attorney, and there should be plenty of them available.
Yeah, and they are our partners. So whatever you need, they are here to help us and support us. And so just know that if you guys we're trying to reach Tiffany, didn't get her immediately, there are other people that I know we see her. And so she's kind of like the face of our office, but there is a whole team of people that are there to support us. So if you can't get her for some reason, Carmen is as amazing.
And you're great to work with.
I like talking to Carmen because she's always calm. Even when I'm not.
Yeah. She's steady Eddie all the time. Anything you want to share?
I will. This is like a war story from a closing last week, and it had nothing to do with you guys. It wasn't a KW agent. It was an Atlanta something or another. But anyway, walk in, it's a lender closing purchase, 2 buyers, and one buyer shows up, Bonnie, and I was like, hey, where is Sarah? Oh, Sarah can't come to closing. I have her power of attorney on my phone. It's a durable power of attorney. She's my 91-year-old mother, and she's in assisted living. And so we're like, okay, put the wheels on, let's stop this. So she did not fill out a buyer information sheet. So those are very important. Buyer information sheets, seller information sheets. Because one of the questions is, will all buyers attend the closing? So there should have been some kind of conversation with her agent and the buyer saying, my mother is in assisted living and she won't be coming to closing, and I needed power of attorney, because we needed to all of a sudden drop everything. It was a 10 o'clock closing. Thankfully, in the assisted living, there was a notary available. So we were able to email the power of attorney, got it approved by the lender, specific power of attorney. The notary was there to sign it. And that lender was able to approve a power of attorney on the day of closing. Some lenders are not gonna do that. They need to have the power of attorney in advance, at least a day in advance. So we were able, finally at 4 o'clock, we got it approved. We got a new package with power of attorney language and we were able to close it. But that's just one illustration of how important it is to fill out those buyer information sheets and the seller information sheets. And have a conversation with your buyers. Like, I mean, the lender was even surprised. He's like, what did you mean she's not coming to close it? You know, that should have been something that had been communicated at least a month before, at least, in the beginning of the process.
Important questions are important.
They are.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so
My
much.
pleasure.
Yes,
You
thanks
guys.
for being here. Good having you here, Dan and John. Our partners, your partners in the house? Nope. Yeah, it's a big vendor fair today with one of our Atlanta partners offices, so that's where they all are. They did not ditch it. It's vendor fair. So we love them. We appreciate all of them. Round of applause. Yay. Thank you, there, Demetria.
I wanted to share something that just rolled out. They with smart plans now, there is a way for you to set up a rule. If you set up a smart plan for someone, you can set up a rule so that if they respond back to your smart plan, that it can stop the triggers in that smart plan. So for example, if you have someone on the long-term nurture and you're like, you send them a text message that says, hey, I haven't heard from you, and then you hear from them. You want that smart plan to stop so that they don't get another text message from you that says, hey, I haven't heard from you. And they're like, what? Is this a real person? So there is a way for you to set that up when you're starting at smart plan. So if you need to know how, just hit your girl up. Holla at your girl.
Yes. April, we have coming up, homework certification is on the 11th. David is going to be doing a market update next week for team meeting. Demetria's class on the 16th for agent websites, or just do it with Kim and I, after David's 9:30 to 11 class on Mondays, and the mortgage training is today and on the 23rd. Woo, save the days. All right, Alyssa, free CE class, April 18th. That is 10 to 1, registration required. Same for Rachel Davenport, mastering the listing game. That's on the 24th, 11 to 12:30. Thea's class on social media, the 24th from 1 to 2:30. Level Up Your Coaching, April 25th. Our mixer for the month is the 25th at 8 a.m. at Papa Jack's. And then Holly will be here on the 30th at 11 for team meeting. Coaching stuff's going on by our boot campus this Saturday from the 13th, 9 to 1:30. Coaching call is every morning, 9 to 9:30 on Zoom. And then coaching classes, 9:30 to 11 every Monday. Meetings, got meetings this week. Groups, vendor, tech, social culture, and education are Wednesday. Growth and financial planning are Thursday, and then next Tuesday is commercial with David Williams. Career day, the 20th. Headshots, by appointment only. They'll be here all day, but you have to make an appointment to come see the guy or gal for headshots. This is tomorrow, 1 to 5. I know we talked about it a little bit. Has anybody in here done this yet, the value square? Thoughts? Good stuff. Good morning. Yeah.
And they'll send out like some PDFs afterwards, and it's all about conveying your value as a buyer's agent. And guys, as we move into this new era, we really need to be able to communicate that.
I got the slides that belong to this yesterday, that once the series is done, I will share with everybody. I don't know that they were supposed to be shared, so I will wait to share them after this is completed. But it's really good. So if you guys can sit in on this, either the 10th or the 25th, please do so. It's a lot of really valuable information. Yes.
And it's different each time.
Yeah.
There's updates. as things
Yeah,
go.
yeah. And then once they get through the 25th, they're gonna take all 4 recordings and marry them into one, and that's gonna one that they're gonna publish and to share, like, that we can have a recording of. And it is Gary, Jay, Jason, and Mark that talk on it, correct? When y'all took it, yeah, like it's live, they're there talking, yeah.
And they also, last time they had, Wendy Pepperzon just kind of call in.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Atlanta Partner School, I know we had a couple agents that have referred some people to school, that starts April 30th, which is awesome. Mega Agent Day, this is at the aquarium, it is May 1st. For those that might not know Ruben Gonzalez, everybody know who that is, our economist of choice with KWRI. He is coming along with, David Voorhees, with some, top agents, Heather Kane, Preston, and Liz. This is, 9 to 3. There's a lot of panels that are gonna happen, more details to follow, but this did get published. There is limited seating, there's a cap. So, but it's an opportunity to, be in a room with top agents, have an experience. It's an all-day thing at the aquarium, so it should be really great.
Do you know
Is
what
that
the-
only for mega agents?
No, it is for anyone.
So do you know, do you have any sense of what they're talking about? Are they gonna be talking about NAR and all that stuff too?
I hope to get the agenda by Friday. So when I get the agenda, I will share.
That'd be great, cause
Yep.
that would be a good group to see.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably be talking about real estate if I had to.
Yeah.
if I had to guess.
Okay.
They are all mega
That's good,
agents,
'cause
yeah.
that's what I do.
Anyway, so, and if, we have enough, make a field trip out of it, get a big group to go down. So I think it'll be a lot of fun, and a lot of great information. MAPS coaching, that's been updated. This is the KWRI coaching through, MAPS for the free fast track classes. Bears, all the volunteer slots are full. Please see Thea and or Chelsea today if you are here on the list, to grab your bears. And please, I know they've told you this, please take pictures when you deliver the bears. So if you need to go grab somebody behind the counter or wherever you're going, please make sure to take photos of you delivering the bears so we can celebrate that. Red Day is coming up. What day is it? Anybody know?
May 9th.
May 9th. What is Red Day? Red Day is KW's annual day of giving back. Every second Thursday of May, agents, leaders, and associates step away from their daily business duties and venture out into their communities to renew, energize, and donate. Our Red Day is going to be at Home of Hope in Gwinnett County. For those of you that don't know already, it is May 9th. Chelsea is working on putting all the calendar stuff together. I think we have about 100 slots, give or take, for volunteers for a morning shift and afternoon shift of all kinds of stuff. I don't know if you want to speak on it a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have, it's a lot. It's like a lot of information, so I won't, I'll spare you the details for now. But we'll have a sign up genius and it'll be very specific. So if you would prefer working inside rather than outside, there'll be opportunities for everybody. And it doesn't cap at 100 people. If you feel like you wanna come, we'll find a spot for you to serve.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful organization. She's gonna come next week, Home of Hope.
Yeah.
Her name's Maureen, and she's gonna talk about what they do. And they are, I was a puddle. So they're just beautiful. Everything they do, it's, in a nutshell, it's for women and children who are homeless, and they pull them in off the streets and they teach them how to live and how to get back on their feet. It's beautiful. So
Yeah, more to come.
yeah,
We will also create and share with everybody some one pagers that you can then send out to your sphere of influence for donations. They're providing us a list of things they might need, whether it's diapers, whether it's just gift cards from Walmart. So that's a good touch to share with your database on what you're doing in the community. And if they would like to be a part of that, you can welcome that. So those will come out this week as well. Marcy Fair, who we love, has created more smart plans for us. This is the Cares for Kids April to August smart plan. If you just search Cares for Kids in the command, it will come up. And so these are really another great way to touch your database and how you're giving back to the community and how we're supporting Cares for Kids. Last but not least. Virtual seat mapping. All you girls, here you go. Need a pickle?
I don't think so. I didn't really prepare. So you guys will have these on your desk, and this is kind of what I'm gonna go off of. Does anyone know what a virtual CMA actually is? Don't all. And there's no wrong, well, there is no answer, but you can just, you can give me ideas of what you think it is.
It sounds like a CMA that you do without seeing the house.
That's right. It's exactly what it is. The purpose of these are kind of to get them thinking about how they can either list their home with you, build their wealth, all of those things. You're here to give them information and you're coming from contribution, right? So this is what I do, and there's also a new one that I've never done that we're gonna do together today. To FISBOs. My model is, my business model is geared towards my sphere of influence. I'm very heavily referral based. I'm very in tune with who's in my database. I believe in that power and We can talk more about that. There's also other business models that we can tap into, which are for sale by owners, which are FSBOs, expireds, open houses, those people that you don't know. So we're gonna try something new together today. So I think it probably would be beneficial for me to show you what it is first, and then we'll go on how we make that happen. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
Would you guys want to do the sphere of influence one first or the FSBO one first?
Sphere.
Sphere. Okay. That's the one I'm most comfortable with.
That's why I said it.
House in 2018 for, I think, like 264, 265. And I just wanted, let me just show you. Let's go this way. Hang on one second. All right, let's type in your address, 1324. Oh, look at you popping up. And here we go. Whee! There you are. So cool. And now, okay, so here's your tax records. It looks like you bought it in 2018. I was close. 264. So that's awesome. And I went ahead and pulled up your neighborhood comps. There's not a lot going on in your neighborhood. There's 2 active, as you can see right here. And then the last one sold for $492. So girl, you got some serious equity. And then look what's going on around you in the high school district. You've got quite a bit. They're ranging from 389.9 to almost 600,000. So you have some serious equity in your home. And if you're even interested about talking about how we could use that to build your wealth, maybe that's buying an investment property or buying the dream home you and John have always talked about. I'd love to stop by and we can maybe do like a custom value of what your home would sell for today. If not, no big deal. We'll just see each other at small group on Wednesday morning. All right, friend. Well, it's good to see you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. So that's how I call it dangling the carrot. It's not false information. You're adding value to them and you're showing them, hey, you bought your house during this time and they're selling for like a lot more. And I feel like that's a huge value add. People would definitely be interested in hearing from you and having that further conversation. And that gets you belly to belly with them. That gains their trust. That gets you to list their house. It keeps going. You see what happens. So that's that one. Do you want to look at the FSBO one next and see how they're a little different?
Yeah.
Okay. Never done this one. So, hey, Miss Mills, my name is Chelsea Stanley. I saw your home on Zillow and I just happened to stumble across it because sometimes I hop on there just to see if there's any hidden homes, for lack of better words, that are not getting like the maximum marketing that they could be getting. And I have some clients that are looking in Winder and I stumbled across your home. I don't think it'll fit for them because they're looking for something with at least 5 bedrooms. However, I did want to ask you, how are your showings going? Do you have a lot of traffic? Have you gotten any offers yet? I did notice that there's only 3 saves on there. So I wanted to kind of see how that's going and see if you're comfortable with how things are going for the sale of your home. Also, I wanted to kind of show you, hang tight with me, what's going on. So this is your tax records. This is kind of you and what's going on. Looks like you bought it for this price back in 2020. So that's great. And then the great news is in your neighborhood, there's nothing on the market. There's one house for $460 and I see you're listed for $420. So I wanted to kind of talk with you about that. And there's not many sales that have happened recently, which is great news for you. I also went ahead and pulled the comparables in the high school district since a lot of people search that way too. And I think you might be able to get a lot more for your house than what you're listed for. So I wanted to see if I would be able to stop by maybe tomorrow at 4 or today even at 3, if that works for you. And we can talk about how we can get your home sold quickly for a higher amount that you're asking for. So let me know. Thank you if you've made it this far. And I hope I get the opportunity to meet you. All right. Bye.
Great job. Yeah, great job.
That's a real person, like that's a real thing that happened, and I haven't sent that video to her yet, we're actually gonna do that today. Here. So we'll see how she responds, if she even responds, but it just goes to show you, do you think any other agents are doing that?
No.
Do you think it would be beneficial for them?
Yeah.
I think it would set us apart. And if you scale that out, let's just say FSBOs are your business model. How many of those a week? If you start tracking your numbers, you're gonna know exactly how many videos you make to set those appointments to reach your goal. You see, like it's all a numbers game. So we can go down the list. So the first thing I would do is identify the property. And that can be whatever your business model is geared towards. It can be towards FSBOs or your sphere of influence. Now, you're gonna wanna put your seller hat on as if this were your own house, right? Because you don't wanna reach out to somebody who just bought in 2023, right? They're probably not gonna care what you have to say. So be mindful of when they bought. Check on the tax records. Does everybody know where to find the tax records? It's okay if you don't. It's on FMLS, you could go to Matrix, and then you can go to public records, you can type in addresses and look that way and see when they sold. Also scroll down to the bottom of them and you can see if they refinance. That's something else. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of homework before you make videos, right? You also wanna make sure you have the person's contact information, because what good is the video if you can't send it to them? It'd be real fun. And then you wanna pull comps, just like I did. I loved FMLS. I think it's very user friendly. Georgia MLS, I am learning more about and excited to learn about that. So I use a lot of my comps in FMLS primarily. So you're gonna do that. Thank you for pulling that up. Then you're gonna save all the information you found on your desktop. That's step one. So you do a lot of homework. That I would plan for an hour of your time. Because you're gonna wanna do, that's where the bulk of your homework is gonna take. Like you wanna be intentional because the goal is to get listings, right? Tab 2 or step 2, you're gonna put all the tabs in order. So you saw like in the video, I had them all ready to go. So you're gonna have the tax records first. Well, I guess Google Earth, if you're doing your sphere of influence, so you can say, wee. But don't hit enter because it will like shoot you there first. So like wait till you're on the video, because if you do it, it just messes everything up. Learn that by failing forward. And then the second one, you're gonna do the tax records. The third one is the neighborhood quick CMA. And the fourth one is the specific search. Now, if they're not in the neighborhood or it's a very unique property, if it's on 10 acres, like that's gonna be a little bit more different, right? So you just have to, again, put your seller hat on, put your buyer hat on as well. What would you be looking for if you were looking for that? What criteria would you put in? So think that way. And then step 3, open Zoom and have your script ready, but practice your script with yourself. The great news is you're not like Zooming anybody else, it's just yourself. So if you mess up, you just erase it, right? So have that ready to go, have the tabs ready to go. And then you do screen share with yourself, kind of like what Dee's doing here. And then you hit record and you talk to that person as if they are right there in front of you, which used to make me want to throw up all the time. So just kind of get over yourself and just do it. Just do it. And if you don't like it, guess what? You can do it again. I've learned that just do it with the first take. It's better if you're human and you don't get it right, because then they can relate like, oh, she's real. Okay, she's not a perfect person. So be you, be yourself, and then practice your script, and then cater it to, if it's not a FSBO, be honest, don't lie. Just tell the truth. I really do have a buyer that's looking in Winder, and I do hop on Zillow and look for houses that aren't marketed on the MLS. Because there are other opportunities out there that we don't know about because we're so stuck in, I'm so stuck in FMLS and Georgia MLS, and I think that's the only places that houses can be, which is not the truth, right? So it is important that we're looking, and that's Miss Mills is doing herself a disservice because she only has 6 saves, like for real. She's a real person. Found her yesterday. I'm gonna send her the the video by the end of this meeting.
Yeah, you are.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
You should do it now.
You think right now?
Yeah.
Do it,
Fine.
do it. He calls, put it on speaker.
Yeah.
I sure will. Just get a trash can ready. You hop on the Zillow.
Now, are you texting it?
I am,
Okay.
sure
So
am.
you're using, you're recording a Zoom and sending her the link?
Yeah, I like put it in the cloud, wherever the cloud is, and then I trim it. And then I pull it down and then I make it a link.
Send it out as a link. Okay.
Yeah,
You have to pay for Zoom to record your.
I don't think so.
There's a free version.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so her address, if you guys want to try this, if it doesn't work with me, it's 2333 Springside Drive, Winder, Georgia. And it's actually like really cute, but there's only 4 pictures. So like, this is like a for real person. And my phone is ringing. I didn't send it to her yet.
She'll respond.
Uh-huh.
All right, here's her number. She'll be like, gosh, guys.
So what are you using to get the numbers? You're using,
It's on Zillow.
No, it's on Zoom.
oh, it's his button. Sorry.
Here's the person you call. It's fine. You got this, boo. This is why my business model is pyramid fluid. It's fine.
Right?
It's fine. Y'all, I'm shaking.
Well, and while Chelsea is doing this, I want to go back to something that she said, talking about what other agents are doing this.
Right. I'm gonna say, hey, Miss Mills. My name is Chelsea Stanley. Gosh, I'm shaking.
Got this.
Oh, my goodness.
It's fine. It's really not.
Looks so cute on the video. Just go with it.
I love it.
Way better than George.
All she could do is say no.
I know, I'm like, I don't even know her, so I really don't gain or lose any. I mean, I lose everything. Saw your house on Zillow.
You phone calls, you get applause after, so.
I know your phone may be blowing up.
Maybe not if it's only got 3 saves.
With
Or
other,
With
nine.
agent, yeah.
with other
Because they're
agents.
probably just calling her instead of texting her video. Exactly. And you've done all this work before, you know,
Actually, I did.
like all of the work that she had to do beforehand, just to reach out to her. How important would that make her feel? you know?
That's funny. But she didn't.
Yeah, and a good point with what Demetra just said, talking about that, especially for FSBOs. They're all calling because they want the listing. They're not calling to provide any value about their home, so it makes it feel much more personal and intentional in how important they are, not just a piece of property.
What are you typing?
I'm gonna read it to you. I'm just like, now I'm gonna like.
You don't have
close
to
it, like,
type it.
just looking at.
Yeah, she's gonna have to send us this.
All right. Hey, Miss Mills. My name is Chelsea Stanley with Keller Williams. I saw your house on Zillow. I know your phone may be blowing up with some other agents, but I wanted to share some information about your home that you might find interesting, not feel interesting. Please let me know if you need anything or would like to have a further conversation. Smiley face.
Hearts.
Hearts, emojis, but she might not be a high eye, so I'm just gonna send that.
And you survived.
You did.
Hold on, there's still time. Now the link is there.
Yeah.
It's better that it's two. Yeah. So, okay. So that's there. It's gonna stay right there. What questions do you guys have? I know it's kind of simple and it's kind of just to the point. But what is-
I've never like recorded on Zoom before. Could you maybe show us
How to record yourself on Zoom?
record?
Yeah. Do you wanna go? It's right
What,
there.
What setup do you have? Do you have a special microphone, a special webcam, anything like that? Do you record on your
Just
phone or do you
from your
record on
laptop?
It's on my laptop. Zoom has a filter, y'all. It has a filter and it like smooths your face and it'll wipe your
Blur.
teeth. Like it's nice. It's not like
Can I
too
put
much
air in it?
filter. It'll put like a background if you want background. But I don't wanna be not myself, cause it's hard to be somebody else, you know? So just be yourself. I don't do anything special. There's not a. I just talk to them.
Is that your actual back wall or is that a background?
It is.
That's our office.
Yeah.
My office doesn't look like that.
We can change that. Yep, so you would go here and it's literally in these three little buttons where it says more, and then it'll say start recording. So like wait, and then start talking.
I think it counts down for you, I think.
Not mine didn't.
I don't think Zoom
Oh, it
does
does,
that.
okay.
It just,
Probably the same thing with Teams.
Yeah.
Microsoft Teams does.
probably. I have not personally tried that yet.
And Google Meet might as well.
Google Meet
It's good. So their camera is wider. So
Yeah.
like what's around you, like if you have a very specific spot that's clean, like use Zoom. But if your whole office is pretty, do Google Meet.
StreamYard's another one that I use for my tech updates. And, it lets you, the nice thing about that one is it lets you be the little talking head, or if you want to have screen and screen, or if you want to have everything on it. So it gives you options, and they've got a free version as well.
What's that called?
StreamYard,
StreamYard.
Like YARD?
STREAM, yes, StreamYard, yeah, YARD.
Yes.
How do you trim your video?
That is a great question that I am not great at. I have a friend that's really tech savvy and she helps me trim it because the truth is I trimmed it and then I just ended up with the video parts that I didn't want as the video.
I appreciate the transparency.
I was like, oh.
But what I love is that you're learning and you're
Yeah.
learning by making mistakes and you're not gonna learn it if you don't do it.
Yeah, you're not gonna break
That's it.
anything. They
Yeah.
don't, I mean.
And CapCut is a free,
CapCut is too.
CapCut is a free one. And it's very, drop it in, trim on either side, ready to go. You can up the volume, take the volume down. So CapCut's really going.
Well, and with CapCut in particular, you can record on CapCut and it actually gives you the countdown, the 3, 2, 1, go.
I feel like you could
So-
put it on Instagram too. You could record it on Instagram and then cut it on
Absolutely.
either side and then save it as the video.
Yeah. Instagram and talk.
So many
Let's do that, yeah.
Any other questions? I know it sounds fun.
Where do you save your link at?
In the cloud. And then
Any cloud specifically?
in the, like, well, with Zoom, it'll say like, do you want to save this to your desktop or do you want to save this in the cloud?
Okay, so you send it via like Zoom? link.
Yes.
Got you.
Yep, because when you record it, it takes your recording and it sends it to you however you told it to.
Mhm.
So I
So,
would just say on the free version of Zoom, you only
On
have
Zoom?
so many
Zoom?
hours.
That's right.
You have to delete them
Yeah.
after you send them, and then that link will be
Yep.
lost.
You can also upload them to Google, Google Drive, and do
There you
it
go.
there as well, and Apple Drive as well.
If you,
What was
if
the
you
last
do
one?
upload them to Google, use your KW
Yes.
because there's no limit on your KW,
Your
storage.
Login, yep.
So use your KW Google
Yeah, what
Drive.
was the other one? You said Google Drive and then what?
Like if you have a Mac, you
Oh,
can do an
Apple.
Apple Drive, yeah.
So when that editing, it stays in the same file
in Zoom it does.
in the Zoom?
It'll like trim it and then it'll send you like, here's your trimmed version. Just pay attention to like how long it was before and then after, just make sure it's. And then always watch it before you. send it.
Make sure you send the right video.
Yeah.
Right,
Yep,
that's important.
that's also a very good point.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Don't send the one that you
Nothing yet.
cussed on because you screwed it up.
Or do.
Or do, yeah.
I mean, you know, it kind of depends on your sphere.
If they're new, then they'd like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I also want to, for Chelsea, like for her sphere of influence video, she talks about, she already knows what their goals are. Like you probably already know they might want an investment property or they're not in their dream home. They are still waiting for their dream home.
Right.
And you referenced her husband's name. And so I think when you make it really personal like that, it's so much more intentional. I don't know, I say that a lot, but it comes across differently. It's on purpose. She meant to have that conversation
They
and trying
know
to
you.
genuinely help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that much about your sphere, I encourage you to schedule 2 coffees a week with them. Don't talk about real estate. Be a human first and just talk to them.
I think this is a great way to practice with your sphere. I've known a bunch of mine for a long time, to practice on them. And then, you can even have a little fun with it, but then you get really good at it.
Right.
So the FISBO and expired becomes a little easier.
Yep. Yep.
I would say, tax assessments. I could see a great opportunity here. I see all in the message boards, the folks are saying, oh, I want to appeal, and I see realtors in the message boards and stuff like that reaching out. What an amazing way to kind of differentiate yourself with it, something like this.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I have. And I would love for each of you to do at least one.
Yes.
Find a house. Now you have no excuse because it's either your person or it's not, and they're easy to find. And then do it. Like, do it scared. I just almost threw up in front of y'all, like.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just do it, right? That's what we talk about. Just do it.
Just do it, like
Yeah.
he says. Okay.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Get out of my.
Any takeaways, ahas you guys want to share about that?
Okay, I'll do that.
George? Any takeaways or ahas you want to share?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Oh, you can call me to the property and stuff. I'll actually ask me to send him one, and I'm going to, of his house, so that I can practice without.
We're gonna.
I love that. So find a partner in the room. Find a partner in the room and say, and practice on each other. Pick your own home, practice. If you don't practice, you're not gonna do it. You're just not, because you're not gonna be willing to take the risk, because we are all humans, to send something to someone that you don't know for the first time.
Well, and I'll tell you something.
Or are you?
Chelsea, kudos, by the way. This is.
I know, right?
And
Yeah.
here's the thing, it is so far outside the box compared to what most people are willing to do. I just wrote a bunch of notes where you see the name on there.
Mhm.
Derek,
It'll be uploaded.
Derek now has a new job.
There you go.
We're
Yeah.
gonna get busy doing this, because I think this is really,
Yeah.
this is one that kind
And
of.
there's a lot of things you can do with this, not just sending it to there's I think it's just opens a whole new door.
Shorten it, like, if you know your person, you can customize it. It doesn't have to be a minute and 20 seconds. It can be 30 seconds. It can, whatever you think is gonna grasp their attention. The point is just getting in front of them and showing them, like, you've got some serious equity. Do you wanna talk about that or not? Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of equity.
And if not, we're still friends. I'll see you Wednesday at book club.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, just,
Yep. And a lot of the conversations I have with my sphere, because they do know what I do. If I am gonna talk about business, I'll tell them like, hey, I'm gonna go straight business mode with you for just a second. And then they're like, okay. Instead of, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest? It's more authentic.
yeah. Anybody else want to share anything? Light bulbs go off? Why don't we do this before? Yeah.
Sometimes we overthink everything. And I like that she just has a very easy, simple, straightforward way of doing it. That we can be thinking, oh, I need to get this kind of lighting and I need to get this kind of microphone and I need to get this kind of camera. Cause I want to do it just right. And the key is just do it and you're not going to do anything you're not gonna get any business by buying a microphone or buying a light or buying a camera.
And they're not pausing it and going, wow, look at all those wrinkles.
Yeah.
Oh, not our best hair day. Yeah, they want to know what value you're bringing and what information you have to share, which I think that's the point. So just get to the point. Yeah. Thank you. I know that was, she's like, other than that, anybody like to share anything? Yes,
Share one thing,
yes.
and it just happened. I stepped out of the room to take a phone call. Well, a dear friend of mine, who is also a broker of several offices in Berkshire Hathaway in Texas. She's been doing it almost as long as I have. And
Oh my God,
she-
I didn't think there was that.
I know. She's really old too. And she said, hey, I want to pick your brain on something. She said, I want to tell you what I just heard. What she just heard was that one of her agent's clients point blank said, I'm not paying a buyer's agent's commission. Because when I go to Atlanta I'm going, let's take care of it. When I go to Atlanta, I'm gonna have to pay my buyer's commission there. So here's the message. Get really deep into the understanding of this NAR thing, because it's coming and there's a lot of misinformation in the marketplace about it. It doesn't have to be a big scary thing. You just need to know how to talk about it, how to script it with people. But if you want to stay in this business, we're gonna have a bump in the road here. And it might be a pretty big pothole. So get really, really good at this. Attend these events, listen to what these guys have to say. Even the people who are putting these things together don't know exactly how that's gonna play out.
Right,
But
because it's
it
not
is-
done.
it is important.
A real thing yet. It is a thing. It is not.
It is a thing, and it's, we've gotta know how to talk about it. We've gotta know how to educate our people about it, because I think eventually things will right themselves, because seller or buyers are just not gonna be able to carry the load that a lot of these people think they're gonna end up having to carry, and it's gonna revert back. If sellers wanna sell their houses, we're gonna be right back in the same kind of scenario that we have now, the same structure. It's just gonna be a different way of communicating. If any of you ever watch any of these videos, I wish I had the girl's name. I'll send it to you. She is a broker in North Carolina and a veteran real estate agent who did about a 38-minute talk on this, and it was exceptional. So I'll get that to you, and I'll try to,
Yeah,
so we can put it out there. She was very good. She was not confrontational. She was just really, really educated about it, so.
I think also to piggyback on what Bob was saying is, it's super important, especially in the times we're coming up on, is knowing your value proposition and knowing what you're going to
Absolutely.
offer to those buyers, so that you know with confidence and you can look that person in the eye and know, like, no, I am worth 3%, 5%. Whatever your number is.
Well, I'm worth 20, but I'm gonna give you a deal.
I'll give you a- yeah. But you are confident with that, and you can create a menu. I don't know if you guys were here with Anna Kalinsky, but she has like a whole menu of different packages that she offers her clients, buyers and sellers, and what each one means. So I think that is super, super important, as well as knowing what's gonna happen with NAR.
Yeah.
Because when you speak confidently about yourself and knowing what your worth is, they're gonna believe you, because it's true. And then you'll be fine, and you're gonna blow everybody else out of the water, because you're already gonna know.
Yeah, if you currently can't articulate your value proposition, you better get on it.
Yep. It's time to get-
I mean that with the utmost love and respect. If you cannot articulate it today, you better jump on that quick.
It's time to get professional.
That's right. Yeah,
We
time to
can do
get
a class on that
professional.
one.
And well, next month, there are 2 different classes coming in May. One is with a top team owner, OP, and team leader here in our area, who's a rock star. And she's gonna talk about value propositions and how to get your buyer brokerage signed. And then on the another date, we have one coming talking about how to articulate your value proposition. And so on top of, I just got examples yesterday of multiple agents around our area, their menu of services and what that looks like, and it's 6, 7, and 8% and what they get for each of those. Now, obviously, you'll customize that to whatever works for you, but to give you some examples, I'm just gonna white out who it belongs to, and start sharing those on the Facebook group. That way you guys can see them and just start having an idea. Where do I start? What does that look like? And then build it out for you, whatever works for your business platform. So I think just, if you don't know, ask, partner with people, understand what's going on. Don't speak of things that you do not know that are not facts,
Absolutely.
period.
That's really critical, and
Yeah.
especially in this particular.
Yeah, and all right now, it's all noise, and until the judge says something that is gonna change, it is just noise. Do not let that distract you. Look, we had amazing celebrations here this morning, but all the listings, all the buyers that's going on, stay in that lane. That's all you care about right now. That's where your success is gonna come from, not by listening to all the chaos going on for a bunch of people that think they know, and they do not know. And so while they're busy doing this all the time, you guys are out building your business and feeding your families and taking care of yourselves. And so that's what's most important. Anything else you might want to share?
So, I'm new to this and I'm new to the broker, so.
And you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Warren Wells.
Yes, welcome. Hello, Warren.
So, to add to that though, this is what I thought about. not only your personal, value that you bring, but also our agency started in the early nineties. So what has that done for people during that time
Mhm.
and added in?
That's right.
Yeah, yeah,
It's always been around.
yeah.
Is how you present it.
Mhm.
And also I heard like, don't even say the word commission, just, these are the fees for my services, and yep, here are my services that I provide, yes, and my fees. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
a commission.
Okay, do you work for free? No. I mean,
Right.
you know, for your kids maybe, but other than that. Yeah, so I think just as we learn and go, Jason will be a big part of this conversation, Atlanta Partners will be a big part of the conversation but we only share things that we know that are facts. So if it did not come from us, please don't listen because we only want to share with you what's factual and what we know is true to share with others. And if we don't know it, we don't know it. And right now we don't know. So we just know that it's a conversation and until somebody says otherwise, that's way up the ladder, aka the judge. It's just conversation. So don't be scared, nothing to be scared of. We're gonna do amazing virtual CMAs and just crush all of our competition because nobody else is doing this. And go take your market share because there's a lot of houses being sold and bought right now. And I want it to be y'all. So, yes.
Just a couple things. Number one, if you're watching the Value Squared, make sure that you understand that that's national, not Georgia. So they use things like, fiduciary, responsibility or, basically fiduciary duty. We don't have fiduciary in Georgia. It was written out in 1996. So just know that. So that's not a term that you want to use. But number two, when you're working with your, sellers, guys, I think we're overcomplicating this. It's just another concession. Because, and going back to Bob's example, well, you know, when you go to buy your house, you're gonna probably pay your closing costs too, unless the seller agrees to pay them. This is just like that. What we need to do is just evaluate every offer that comes in based on your bottom line and what gets us the most net. And the reality of this is when we're in very tight inventory markets, builders don't pay as much buyer compensation. We're going to see the same thing from sellers because if they have buyers that can pay and we saw this even with the market, even when we were offering, there were buyers putting in offers that were saying, hey, I'm gonna pay my own agent's commission so your seller doesn't have to. Does that make sense? So this is just part of the negotiation and we need not to let it get too much into our heads about how big of a change this is. It's a very small change when it really comes down to it. We're just gonna be negotiating a different point of the contract than we've negotiated our entire careers.
And we can do it. We can do it. All right, obviously no vendors today because they're all at the vendor fair, another market center. The market center is providing lunch. I don't know if it is here yet or not. Can you peek out there and see? We went way big and we did pizzas for y'all, so you're welcome.
We got plates and napkins.